What is up, everybody? Jester here, and today is a very special day. Thanks to you folks, I can tell you that we hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, and I just want to say a huge thank you very much. To celebrate, we're going to be using the animal farm to do some cooking today. The stellarator is on the menu. Let's get jumping right on in. This is what I call my animal farm. It is on one of the most beautiful, perfect weather planets I have ever found in my life. It has wonderful fauna that we're going to be needing to get some of these products. So let's just go ahead and jump in and show you all the different features of the base. First of all, there are 4 separate feeding stations. And again, you are going to need the livestock unit as well as the automatic feeders. So get those unlocked up at the anomaly. But as you can see here, we can get eggs, we can get leopard fruit, and we're also getting wild milk. Things that we're going to need going forward. From there, I was lucky enough to find not only a power source, but 2 other resources that are going to be pretty big for being able to supply an animal farm. The first of which is oxygen. You can take oxygen, put it down in a refiner, and make carbon. Then carbon, you can actually make creature pellets, which will feed the creatures. From there, we also had copper. Now, copper will refine down into chromatic metal, and chromatic metal can then be used to make silicon eggs, and I'll be showing you guys that here in just a minute. But that's not where this base stops. We also have a biome each of all the different nutrient processable plants that you can refine down into other ingredients and then re-refine into a cooking product. It's really just a wonderful little place where everything is all in one spot. And don't worry, I'll be giving you the coordinates for this at the end of the video. I do also want to mention that the nutrient processors we'll be using have their own separate storage, 50 slots, but that is overall. But you can keep all your ingredients separated from your main inventory. To make this delicious treat, the stellarator, we're going to need a couple of main things. First off is a lumpen donut, and then stellar custard. For the lumpen donut, you're going to need clarified butter, dough, and processed sugar, while the stellar custard is going to require silicon egg, cream, and processed sugar. And I'm going to go through all the steps to get all of these things, and these are all available at this base. You don't have to go anywhere else in the verse. You can make them all right here at my animal farm. To get started off, we're going to go straight into the nutrient processor. And just as a quick example, I want to show you that you can indeed take carbon and put it in the nutrient processor and make creature pellets. But this process is 10 times faster to just do in your inventory. So don't worry about doing that, but it is available to do. For our first actual ingredient, we're going to take some of that chromatic metal that we collected from the storage depot near the plants, and we're going to throw that in to make our silicon eggs. And that's one thing off the list. The next step of the process, we need cream. To get that, we're going to need to visit those 4 feeding stations and collect wild milk. Now remember, when you put creature pellets into those feeders, it's going to take a little bit for this to be collected. You need to be on premises for this to happen. It doesn't happen if you're at a different base somewhere else. But once you get that done, you have your cream. The final ingredient for our stellar custard is going to be refined sugar. To get that, go up to the biome, collect the cactus flesh, refine that in the nutrient processor down to cactus nectar, and then once you have that done, re-refine that cactus nectar, and that's going to yield you all the refined sugar you need. We now have everything we need to make our stellar custard. We're halfway done. I really wish there was a better way to show you guys this versus just showing everything going into a nutrient processor. I know it's kind of boring, but cooking can be quite diverse and quite fun, and I actually had a blast doing this. But now it's time to get the second main ingredient going. To get going on our second main component, the lumpen donut, we need to take some of that cream and refine it down into churned butter. Now, again, make sure you've given yourself enough time to feed the creatures and get enough milk, because that's going to be your biggest hang-up for this entire recipe. But once you have the desired amount of churned butter, this part is a little bit tricky because it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So in one slot, put churned butter, and the second slot down, put churned butter. This gives you clarified oil. That's ingredient number 1. Ingredient number 2 is going to be dough. To get that, you need to go visit the biome that has the frost crystal, pick that, and you're going to need to refine that down into glass grains. And then once that's refined in, all you have to do is put that back in the nutrient processor, and that will give you your refined flour. Now just remember, any plant you refine probably needs to be refined twice to get down to a base ingredient. From there, simply run right back up to another biome and pick the Fecium plant. Now, this is kind of yuck. That's actually the poo plant. So I guess trust the process with the nutrient processor, but that will give you the wild yeast. Once you have that in your inventory, take your refined flour, combine that with the wild yeast, And now you've got the dough portion. I'm not going to show you the sugar again because we already showed you. Now that the taxing part is finally done, we can get into the actual crafting of the big stuff. And this is what I call getting down to the brass tacks. To do that, we just got to go back to the nutrient processor again. But this is the end of it, I swear. We'll start off with the stellar custard, and it's a pretty simple recipe. I showed it to you in the beginning. Silicon egg, we're then going to need to add our cream, and then finally, we just need to add our processed sugar. And then you just give that enough time to refine. You'll have it in your inventory and ready to combine into the final product. From there, throw your clarified oil in one of your slots, take your processed sugar, put it in another slot, and then add your dough. And this is going to give you the lumpen donut. This is going to give you the two main ingredients that we're going to have. With those two main ingredients in your inventory, just combine the two. We're basically making a custard stuffed donut. And believe me when I tell you, this one, it might be fit for a king, but it's made for the kingdom. And thank you guys again for joining that kingdom. You can consume these and get an 8-second jetpack boost anytime you eat one. But what we're going to do is we're going to go into space and we're going to summon the space anomaly. And we're going to go visit an old friend that supposedly has the best palate around, Cronus. Once we land, we just need to go up and interact with them, and he's going to be a judgy little butthole about pretty much all the work you do out of the food processor. So just, take it with a grain of salt. But wouldn't you know it, he loves the stellarator, and for our time, he gives us 129 nanites per. Not the greatest number, but hey, we had a really good time putting it together. If you would like to stop by and use my animal farm, the coordinates are in the bottom left corner of the screen. And be sure to leave me a comm ball, because I just love seeing that kind of stuff to know that people have come and visited the base. And tell me what you created here. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, and if you did, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe because it helps a ton. And thank you once again for 500 subscribers. It really does keep me motivated and keep me going. And I do want to take this opportunity to announce that we are going to be coming back to YouTube streaming now. No more Kick, no more Twitch. We're going to be strictly over here. So stay tuned for that. And you can hit the bell to get notifications, and it'll let you know when I go live or when I post a video. So just again, I really can't believe there's 500 people in the world that have followed the channel. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.